And good afternoon. Welcome to Olathe Lanes East, where it is singles time for the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour, brought to you by Gladstone Bowl, the title sponsor for the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. And jumping into it really quick, Richard Crocker, shooting 241 over, is taking on Roger Hedgie, the second, at 244, and then Tony Manna Jr. sitting third at 265. Let me get this turned down just a pinch. Here we go. Didn't mean to blow guys out. And then Mike Peck at 271, and then Don Breeden. I made the comment to Don Breeden today at game 6, crossed with him. He's at 362 over. I said, Don, you're fun to watch and frustrating as hell all at the same time. And he just kind of chuckled and said, thank you. So that's, I'll tell you what. And they were a little bit different today. The fronts were a little bit tighter. The mids weren't as predominant as they were yesterday, and it wasn't as cliffy. And it's amazing how, and I think humidity had a lot to do with it today. A lot more people. It was warmer. A lot of that going in. It took a while for the cliff to be there, but it wasn't necessarily what you wanted to play. Again, you wanted to play down lane. There's guys that were, playing a little bit tighter. You can see here with Roger, he's, kind of the one-handed, two-handed deal. But he's not swinging it like you're going to see Manna will. And Breeden is going to be, Breeden's going to be Breeden. He's going to be up the hill. Richard Crocker, crossed with him also, and he was still pretty well within what he likes to do. He goes 216, 59, 69, 35, 191, and then goes 36, 34. Pretty steady. Roger, he goes 213, 21, 54, 193, and then 27, 58, and 78. So he goes 120, 136 over his last two. 136 will make it 150, 160. Shoots 760 his last three, and throws himself into the final. So that'll get it done all the time. So that's what happens here. And trying to, in fact, let me get the scores trimmed up a little bit, and I'll get those visible. Hold on real quick.
This is awesome.
And for the cash, there were 72. Cash, 18.
Super team.
That's my doubles partner.
Doubles partner.
Yeah.
Nice shooting, doubles partner.
I need to learn.
Finish fifth.
I need to learn when they start. I mean, I can play the line that Tony plays, but I can't play it to execution percentage that Tony does.
Did you see where I was?
No, I was trying to do my own shit. But, well, you know, you see like with Tony, he's playing so far inside right
That's
now.
where the oil is. The cliff right there, you gotta be in.
Yeah.
If you're right of it, it's that way. If you're left of it, it's that
I
way.
used one ball yesterday out of the ball that I brought, and okay, just leave it 6 home. And Providence stuff that I couldn't use.
Well, Donnie's throwing it.
Good seeing you again. You're going to told Kelly and plug in knees and eyes down there for miracle reception. If you're not doing things for that, you're using it for your eyes, but you're going to hit that over there. That's my problem. All right, good seeing you, man. Take care. Have a good trip. All right, sure, Kelly. I'll let you know. All right.
Did he say he would? Doug, did Donnie say he would?
No, somebody asked him this.
Look at that.
I forget.
Holy
That's
I gotta start.
that's in Tony's wheelhouse.
Oh, I know. But that's what I mean. My problem is
That's no different than
when I
you.
get deep, I can get that deep. My problem is when I get there, I keep looking for friction. Tony, the only friction you're looking for is on the pattern. And it's just, you know this shit when I'm going. It's amazing how much I end up forgetting and not using.
What? Just extra salt. Oh, what movie's
this way.
See you later, Dave.
Number 2. Number 2.
No left-handers in the final today. No left-handers in the final today.
We need the finals yesterday, right? And won.
Oops. I hope I didn't screw that up. I just saw that. I just saw that my score mic was on, so hopefully I didn't mess it up for everyone. I apologize for that. I just happened to look. Yeah, Richard needs to start stringing them. But Richard needs two things to happen. He needs to start stringing them, and Tony start missing a few. Ooh, gets the 9-pin to fall straight back. Yeah, about 23. Yeah, just like Tony likes to do. He likes this area. He can just rotate the hand, stay nice with it, clean off the hand. Gets enough side roll where the ball just doesn't die out on him. And I'll bring up the schedule here real quick after this shot to let you know what we have coming up. Also, a bonus tournament coming up in the area. And gets a stop and roll. September 28th at Sterling Bowl, all the seniors, want to let you know, the Kansas USBC is having their senior tournament, Masters tournament, on the 27th at Emporia. So you may want to make a double dip on that. Bowl this Saturday and then come bowl Sunday at Sterling Bowl. And then we have a couple double headers. Gladstone, the 25th, is for the 60 and over. 26th I can't replay it. What do you, hold on a second. Okay, we had a panic, but everything's okay. And I'll get the schedule back up here in a second. There we go. So Gladstone, the 25th and 26th. The 25th is the 60 and over. The 26th is the regular open. Then we're having back-to-back Saturday, Sunday at Royal Crest in November in Lawrence. And then the 20th of December at Revolutions is the non-champions. And the 21st is the regular open. So if you're 60 and over, you have back-to-back-to-back. And I know we have someone that talked about in St. Louis wanting to come down. So those are a couple good times to come, and he got that one out real quick. He'll walk away from that one. Yep, sometimes you just get it right quick, and that can happen. And that one he got in just a little bit and didn't, just short armed a little bit. So 257 possibility for Tony. 256 possibility for Richard. So there's, it just got tight real quick. As Nelson Burton Jr. would say, it would behoove Richard to get this one right here to walk up in the 10th. And of course, Richard gets in the way of the shot. I'm going to have to get a little bit more angle from the lanes next time. I'll try to do that. I try to get a better angle so you can see the reaction of the ball a little bit better. So 256 possibility for Richard. Oh. And 257. Or check that. 257 possibility. Oh, I see what they did. It messed me. Okay. Yeah, 256 for Richard. And 257 for Tony. I was looking at the names up above and I shouldn't have done that. One more is going to force Tony to strike out for the win. All right, double and 9 for Tony. for the win. And the way that game started for Richard, that's a pretty good finish. Going 2 spares and open on the chop, then basically sheeting it out. So double and 9 count for Tony to win. That's left. That ball never got right. So Richard Crocker pulls out a 256, basically sheeting it after a slow start, goes 255. Tony's going to finish out in the 30s. .230. It's a nice game by Richard Crocker. As we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with a semifinal match in a few minutes here at Olathe Lanes East. The Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour brought to you by Gladstone Bowl. We'll be back in a few minutes. And welcome back to Olathe Lanes East, where we are headed into the semifinal match with Mike Peck taking on Richard Crocker, who just defeated Tony Manna Jr. 255 to 230. And a come from behind win for Richards. He goes spare open, and then sheets from the 4th frame to 11th goes 9 count, forcing Tony Manna Jr. to go double and pulled the first ball in the 10th and gave Richard the win. So nice job by Richard. And there you see the schedule coming up. A couple notes: Gladstone on the 25th. That is a 60 and over tournament. Both open tournaments in November 22nd, 23rd at Royal Crest. And then the non-champions at Revolutions on the 20th. And then the open on the 21st. So hopefully I make that one, because that's usually the one I've been sick the last 3 years, 2 years or 3 years for that tournament. So I'm waiting to get back up there and bowl again. And then the regular at Mission in Olathe, Crown Lanes in Leavenworth, Western and Mockingbird in Omaha. And then we'll have the Summit 25th and 26th at Summit. I believe those might be both opens. And then 16th, where's Dan at? I need to get Dan to get some clarification, because we got a lot of only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dates are singles. So there's a lot of money to be out there had. So get out here and bowl. Plus, I want to remind everyone that Kansas USBC is having their senior masters on the 27th on the Saturday at Emporia. So you can hit that and then come on down and hit the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. Alrighty, got some clarification. It's going to be fun. In fact, I got a phone call to make. So let me put the schedule back up here in a second, and this is going to be fun. Richard Crocker taking on Mike Peck, who had a 300 earlier in the day, and I'll get his scores here in a little bit. So if you take a look at the score on Summit, April 25th, 26th. The 25th is a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, and 60-year-old tournament. That's going to be fun. That's another trio. And then the regular open on the 26th, the 16th and 17th at Gladstone is the Invitational. The top 32 in points come to the bowl. On the 16th, top 8 come back and bowl on the Sunday with a round robin match play, or round robin and then a match play afterwards. So a lot of good tournaments. I'm going to have to get my game going. I wish I could have taken my scores yesterday and put them on today. Still wouldn't have made the cut, but it would have been a whole lot better than where I was today. Yeah, Dave, she chicken. I told her about the mic. I looked at her, she goes, no. And then I told her, I said, you know how much money Dave would pay to have you on the air? And she goes, who's he going to pay? Then I got to thinking, so well, he wouldn't have paid me, wouldn't have paid her. So I'm not sure about that. And I think Peck might be throwing the the Ion Pro Solid, which has become pretty popular. In fact, my son just got done shooting 300 last week, Thursday, I think it was, with it. So there's too much equipment out there I want from all different companies. And yeah, he has to definitely play steeper. He got that one further right than 10 and goes fast 8. So yeah, right now the way the lanes are, to get it right, you do not have to help it. So Don Braden coming up next takes on the winner of this match, who was part of the winning team with Brian Manini and Doug Hergenrader yesterday. So Don Braden just picking up where he leaves off. I told her she could have the same early. I'm not going to put you on, but I made the comment to Dave, or I made the comment to you that how much Dave would pay to have you on, and you asked who was he going to pay. This is Dave's reaction. That you would get the same early he gets when he's on.
Tell him that I demand Linda's pay.
Linda's pay.
I'm going to go on the payroll. When I go on the mic, I go on his payroll.
Go on his payroll. There you go. There you go, Dave. She wasn't necessarily on, but I think you could still hear her a little bit. So, and the slow rolling 10 by Crocker. And I'll tell you what, ball, Dave, real quick, and you'd find this interesting. Most of the time, Don Braden was throwing an upside down conspiracy theory, the black one, the radical. And he could just, and just do what Don does. He can freeze the fronts. It still gets a good reaction. And it's with his little side roll, it just retains all the energy down lane and still hits pretty hard. And Don led the field by what? 89? Yeah, 89 pins. You hear him probably hear more later. I don't know. She's sitting over there with Tony. I don't think she's going to come over here and voluntarily start talking to me. Looks like there might be a little bit of transition going on. And that ball stopped. I'm not sure if it got off his hand bad or what, but that ball got off to the spot, and you just tell as soon as it broke, it just stopped. There was just nothing there. I'm sitting over here watching Don Breeden, and I'm not sure what he just threw, but he just threw something that looked like he had a whole ton of surface, and that looks like an absolute power. And and Don can take surface and still get it to freeze up on friction, unless it burns up too much too soon. Richard is so good at getting in the way of the shot on the right lane. So I apologize for that. I'm going to have to, I call it getting a steeper angle. I was trying to a different angle, not get the camera so high so that, maybe I need to go back to it, not sure. Yeah, that one he got in. Even from this angle where I'm setting, you can tell I got that one in just a little bit. So on the 9 count, .245 possibility for Richard Crocker. 246. So 1 pin lead for Mike Pack. See if it makes a little bit steeper move. Yeah, either he's going to move left. I think he has way too much ball for the lanes right now with his rev rate, because he's really aggressive with it. Oh, and he picks up the 4-6, and you couldn't see it because he was in the way. I think that's the first time I've seen it in person.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, that's about as thin as you're going to get it. And I'm sorry you couldn't see it. But yeah, he picks up the 4-6. And I mean, any thinner than that, I don't even know if the pin goes over. So that just saved him a bunch. Yeah, I've done that a few times before. Can't get my own feet out of the way. So does the right thing, just puts the ball down, resets, goes through his motion again. Nice comeback off that 4-6 conversion. So Crocker with the 245 possibility. 234 possibility for Peck. So Richard kind of controls his own destiny. Oh, missed it with the blower 5, but got the headpin come off the wall and take the 7 out. So that's a big shot for Richard. And Peck needs to stay pace. Ball's just losing energy. The ball has to use so much energy to get back to the pocket. There's just nothing left by the time it gets there. So on that spare, 214 possibility on the strikeout for Peck. So if he punches out, and if Richard would go 9 count spare strikeout, we would have a tie. But first things first, Peck has to strike on this ball. And that one was about ready to roll out on him also, but it was further down lane, so it still had a little bit of energy retained. Big shot for Richard. I believe this one here will cinch it up. That's left. That was close. So on the spare it'll be 222 on the spare strike. And that would be enough for the win, so he needs this one and count on 214 possibility for Peck. So I think he can handle 3 pins on this one here. 3 pins and a win for Richard Crocker. Trying to run the step ladder. And that's going to be a winner. So we'll take a timeout, be back with the final match as Richard Crocker running the ladder as he will take on Don Breeden in the championship match here at Olathe Lanes East in Olathe, Kansas, with the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour brought to you by Gladstone Bowl. We'll be back in a few minutes. And back with you for the championship match with Don Breeden, your tournament leader, going up against Richard Crocker, who qualified 5th defeated Roger Hagee, Tony Manna, and Mike Pack. And yeah, this is, Doug Hergenrader just told me this is going to be a good match. And real quick, we'll show you what the schedule is coming up. September 28th at Sterling Bowl. And remember, the Kansas USBC has their Senior Masters on Saturday, the 27th at Emporia. So, nice little back-to-back for tournaments there. And then we'll have Gladstone. We'll have the 60 over on the October 25th, the regular open on October 26th, on 6th, excuse me. Two regular opens, the 22nd, 23rd of November at Royal Crest in Lawrence. The non-champions, December 20th at Revolutions in St. Joe, and the open on the 21st. To two regulars, Mission and Crown. And we'll get to the rest of that a little bit later on. But championship match now with Richard Crocker. And it looks like he might have migrated just a little bit left, just a hair bit. I can't tell what ball Don's throwing. Oh, the lightning blackout, that's right. He was throwing that a little bit yesterday. Man, he definitely got that one left. Shaking his head, didn't like it. And we're still making pretty good time. We'll be done about 4:15 or so. So it's been a nice Iran tournament. Huge thanks to the staff, Eric, and everyone here at Olathe Lanes East. And that's an absolute power, and that did not read well. Yep. Oh, nice. Oh, really? Okay. And Richard got that one left. I believe he folded the 6, 7, 10. I was giving Richard a bunch of grief. I go, can you post a shot one time and not fall off to the right? He goes, I'll work on that. Yeah, right. So probably anyone else, it probably wouldn't have been too bad. But yeah, Richard's that's just his style. He falls off to the right. There's a nice shot. What ball is which one? If Ken's asking, I'm not sure who's he's talking about. Don, well, he was throwing a lightning blackout. That might be the conspiracy theory with an upside down. Actually, the pin's below the thumb and the CG's above the thumb. as he was throwing that pretty predominantly today. Trying to see it coming out of the ball return. And no, that's a gold label. That's what he's throwing now. And Richard's throwing the origin. Hey, girl. I used to bowl league here at E, so it kind of nice to see old friends again that work here are still here, and the wait staff here is pretty solid. Food's pretty good. They just got a new revamped pro shop that's about a year old, so yeah, pretty good facility here at Olathe East. Once again, a huge thanks to Eric and the staff here. That one just it started to make the move and just died just a little bit. And also a huge thanks to all the sponsors. Of course, the title sponsor, Gladstone Bowl in Gladstone, Missouri. Finley Transport, Lisa Finley with Shelter Insurance. Give her a call. She'll give you a quote. Renewal by Anderson. I Am Bowling, BVL. As every $1 for every entry is paid to BVL this year. Of course, also Storm, Rotogrip, 900 Global, along with Jason Chris with Face Designs and Bowling Store. So huge thanks to all of them. And if you want to, you can still be a sponsor. Just give Dan a call, and I'm sure he'll be able to figure something out for you. Yeah, Richard moved left a little bit, but he's had to create a little bit of angle. He was scared. He was about ready to chop it off. In fact, that's the spare that he chopped off against Tony. In the third frame, he goes spare, chop the 6 off the 610, and then strikes from the 4th to the 11th, goes 9 count to force Tony to get 2, and he pulled the first one. And he thought he was going to chop that one off again. And it looked a little bit better. Got a little bit further down lane before he started reacting. There, Breeden gets the carry. Needs to get a few more going. Put the pressure back on Richard Crocker. And Breeden comes up. Breeden comes up with a double. So see what kind of move Richard makes on this one. The last one didn't quite get it right. Yep, now he's into 15. Yeah, it's a little bit deeper. He's moved about 3 boards in the last 2 games. He was looking about 12, 13 earlier. And now he's migrated into 15, more into that oil. Yeah, it rolled up pretty nice. 278 possibility for Richard Crocker. $243 for Braden, so he needs to keep his string going and hoping Richard kind of falters a little bit. Yeah, they got that one out quick, and it froze up. He might have done that to get a little extra push, as the one that he threw earlier just kind of died out. So, and he has a roll that really no one else has that I know of. And Braden with the strike. I forgot to take a look at Braden's scores, but he was just, I mean, he was never lost. 256, 57, 78, 69, 39, 36, 27. Averaged 251 for 7 games of qualifying, and just, he was just always there. We have that 4-pin. That's one break he needed. So 255 possibility. So he still controls his own destiny, so Don needs Richard to miss one more. That one looked like he got out just a little bit quick, and it just never could recover. So that's going to change things here. So on the spare, be 243. Possibility if on the spare, and if they both strike out, we have a tie at 243. That's got to hurry. Okay. Wasn't quite sure about that from this angle. So Braden has new life now. So if he strikes here, it's a battle at 10th frame after 7 games and 3 games of match play. That was a pinch high. It was running. So now it's a battle of 10th frame. that ball was rolling in nicely. And Breeden leaves the wrap 10. So pretty simple for Crocker. Needs to get. That's right. So 222 on the fill. Yeah, he'll still have to mark. No. No, if Richard gets 8. You're right, yep. I was looking at it differently. And now it goes down. The lowest game that Don Breeden bowled today was 222. And he had a great tournament, great weekend. So just a 9 count for Richard. And there's a win. He runs a stepladder. So congratulations to Richard Crocker. It would need the big one getting past Tony Manna after that slow start. And it was kind of close with Peck, but he pulled that one out. He stayed with himself. And Breeden get off that slow start was just enough where Richard Crocker showed up in the 10th when he needed to. That's going to be a good win. So we'll get with both of them here in a second. Don't go running away. Don't go running away yet. Get over here. So now the first thing I got to tell you, your doubles partner over here for the 60-50 says now Vegas has the odds at 7-5.
I think we got a pretty good shot, especially going to Royal Crest. The lefties love that place, so I got a good partner.
The big match against Manna had the slow start. He had the 2 spares in the open, and there was like, well, either strike or I'm done.
Yeah, I made my move too late. I should have done it in the first frame, and I sit there and held on to it, and then when I moved, it was money.
And bowling across with you and Don is like I told Don. I said it's fun. It's fun and it's annoying as hell at the same time because he can just freeze the lane up. But also with your game too, it's not very often that you're hooking the ball more than your opponent.
Right. I don't hook the ball a lot, but today we were hooking the ball, and it's always a pleasure to bowl with Don because I watch him, and it was a great match today.
Yeah.
I had a great day.
Well, and you ended up I think 3 boards today.
Yeah.
During the match play.
Yep. I moved a little bit 3, and then we stayed right in there. And I changed balls and went to a ball with more games on it, and it held.
Well, that's between watching you two guys and then watching Manna, it kind of gives me an idea of what I need to work on. So, but had a good weekend. Had made a back-to-back finals.
Yep. Took 3rd Saturday and then 1st today.
There you go. Well, I guess we'll see you next month.
All right. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, Richard Crocker with the win. And that's going to do it for us. It's been a busy weekend. Congratulations to Don Breeden, Brian Manini, and Doug Hergenrader for winning the trio yesterday. And then congratulations to Richard Crocker for winning today as he ran the stepladder and went 4-0 and shooting 242 his last match. So again, a huge thanks to Eric and the staff here at Olathe East. Always things just run nicely. All the sponsors, as I said, Gladstone Bowl, Lisa Finley with Finley Insurance, Finley Transport, Renewal by Anderson's, I Am Bowling, BVL, Bowling for Veterans, Storm, Rotogrip, 900 Global, Bowling Store, and Jason Chris with Faces Irons for all the graphics. And thanks to you for joining us. Once again, congratulations to Richard Crocker for the win, and we will see you guys. We'll put it up here real quick again. We'll see you guys next month, the 28th at Sterling Bowl. Remember, the 27th, Kansas USBC has their Senior Masters on that Saturday at Emporia. So might be a good time to double dip on some tournaments again. I'll be bowling on that one, and we'll have the broadcast on that. And then we'll have the broadcast at Sterling Bowl on the 28th. So once again, huge thanks for joining us, and we will see you next month at Sterling Bowl, September 28th, here for the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour.